All right, I need to talk a little bit about factory overhead here. There are some items and some things that we need to put in factory overhead. That's again an inventory account. Now, for our example, I need to buy some glue. I've set up here glue as a non-inventory part, and the account I put it under is factory overhead. So keep in mind it's an indirect material. We're not going to track it to each job. The reason we need a name for it is so we can put it on a purchase order, and we just need to make sure that it's attached to this right account. So if you've created that, go ahead and click OK. Come into purchase orders, click or type in where you're buying it. In our case, the glue seller. Glue is the name. Again, that's why we need the name. We need one item. It's going to be $500 for, say, it's a 50-gallon drum of glue. Again, keep the customer blank because we're not tracking this to each individual customer. So you've got that. Go ahead and hit save and close. Then when you receive it, type in who it's from. It's going to say, oh, you have open purchase orders. We know. So we'll come and click on that purchase order we just made. And it has glue coming in. Now we go ahead, we received it. See here the cost is $500. You click save and close. Now we can look two places. One, here on our inventory, it's not going to show any value because it's not an inventory part. We're not keeping track of it in inventory. But if we go to our balance sheet, we can see here, look, we've now put $500 in our factory overhead inventory account. Now, again, later we're going to talk about how to apply that and what to do with factory overhead. But for now, you can see how that one transaction has increased that account. Now, there's another thing. Let's say that you get a bill from the electric company. Now, chances are a portion of that went to pay for your office lights, the computers and so forth, the electricity there. But I would bet a lot of it went to run your factory. And because it went to run your factory, you can use that portion, or you can apply that portion to your factory overhead account, so it shows up in inventory instead of as an expense. And what you need to do is estimate that. I'm not going to go through how to do that in this video, or probably even in this series. Talk to someone at the electric company. Do your best to estimate what portion was used for your office and what portion was used to build your products. And then in QuickBooks, all we do is we split it. So if our total is $1,500, if that's our bill, we're going to say part of it's utilities. For an example, it may be, let's say $500, a third of it is for the office. The other $1,000 is going in factory overhead. So the total is still $1,500 of these two items, but one's expensed right away in utilities, and one is factory overhead. So I'm going to hit save and close. Come back to our balance sheet, and now we see, look, we now have $1,500 in factory overhead. If I double click on that, it'll break it down for me. $500 from the glue, $1,000 from the electric company. We can also look at our profit and loss, and we see this $500, which is the other $500 from the electric bill, show up right there.